Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale. This is the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you all so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Pete, I just want a recurring segment before the ad read. And you know the title of this one. It's Chris May. You have an open invitation to come on the show and speak on your current and future vision for Billiken Athletics. Would love to hear from you. We have a ton of questions, obviously. So come on the show. We'd love to talk to you. A huge thank you goes out, of course, to everyone who has supported us by supporting Two Men and a Garden these past few years. Thanks to you. They're back for the 25-26 season of the Midtown Madness Podcast. We can't thank Joel and the team over at Two Men in a Garden for keeping the Midtown Madness Podcast rolling. They are the St. Louis Salsa and Pickle Company, bringing you everything from mild to screaming hot, hot mango to sugar-free. Plus, they have pickles from classic dill, smoky barbecue. Visit them online at twomeninthegarden.com. Shop your favorite flavors, and while you're there, learn more about their Kitchen Hub STL, where they're working with local entrepreneurs in the food industry to really make St. Louis a place for food and food accoutrement connoisseurs and business people, entrepreneurs. Don't forget to follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates. Pete, we've got good news and bad news as always, Pete. First of all, the reviews out of the secret scrimmage are glowing.
They really are, Zach. Yeah, and we'll get to it, but it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting.
One thing I wanted to mention this because, I read the initial post on Billikens.com, and I don't want this to come off as like I'm like criticizing this dude, but like he confused. Like the way he started the post, it was everything until that final line screamed like, "Oh shit, this may not work," and then either that or Iowa's really good. And then that last sentence is like, "Oh, by the way, we won like 99-77 or whatever it was, whatever he put on there." So it's like, wait a minute, hold on. How that's telling a worse story than me. Like I can't put like totally conflict. I am a terrible storyteller. And it was
definitely an abrupt tonal shift.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought it was bad. I thought he was going for we were bad.
Yeah. Right.
And then flipped it on its head. Everything else, though, that's come out has been unbelievably glowing, which I mean, I'm remaining. We'll get there. We'll see. The bad volleyball is struggling to find their legs in a front-loaded conference schedule. And as I stated last week in the What the F segment, they had to practice in Simon Rec all last week. Pete, I'm just going to say, trekking from Chaffetz to Simon Rec with all your gear, I got to imagine it impacts those legs.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt to a degree. Like maybe there was a scheduling conflict. Maybe there were, things going on. But I also understand your point. Like, not everybody's going to practice at the exact same time, right? Like, why aren't we staggering practices over the course of the day? So I'm not really sure what happened there.
But yeah, I like to think they had golf cart rides. Honestly, I would love to think they had at least a shuttle up there.
Sure.
And the one thing I forgot to mention last week is that SLU women's soccer is selling 30-year T-shirts at home games. I did mention they were selling them, and I did mention all of this. I just want to reiterate that they're selling some cool gear.
It's kind of like a tour T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I got one, and it goes straight to the Katie Shield soccer camp. So that makes, in my mind, hey, I if it's going straight to the coaches, more, I think that's great. Pete, I don't know how much. This is one of those things that comes out on a Monday. This next news item we got to talk about. comes out on a Monday or a Tuesday, and you and I are texting back and forth, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And then by Sunday, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much time we really want to spend on this. In my mind, like, why don't we look for the listeners, for the people that watch this show, for the benefit of everyone? We are going to drop this at the end of the show. And if you really want to, like, if you want to skip ahead, that's great. And I'll tease what it is. Essentially, actually, I'll let Pete tease what it is because he hasn't said much.
So really what this is, Zach, and you're right, when this drops on Tuesday, it looks like a big meatball that you can't wait for. You can't wait to go over. But by the time we've got a whole week of news on Saturday and Sunday, you're like, oh, that's a big block of text. I don't know if I want to do that. But basically, the University of Oklahoma posted a job opening for a new athletic director. We first saw it thanks to a retweet from West
I'll
Pine
write
Bills.
the recommendation for Chris May.
We saw it from a retweet from West Pine Bills on Tuesday. And the official title is Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics Programs and Director of Athletics. So naturally, we wondered not only if a recommendation, Zach, was warranted, if SLU's current athletic director, Chris May, would be qualified for the position, but whether the responsibilities and profiles and qualifications listed in the job opening are things that he has demonstrated, a proficiency of at SLU. So, thought it would be an interesting exercise, but it's a big old chunk of text.
So my plan for this exercise, and this is the tease, this is the segment we're going to run, is we are going to go list by list and just real quickly, it's going to be a yes or a no. We're just going to, we're going to do like a LinkedIn endorsement. Would we endorse the skill?
Sure.
All right. That's what we're going to do. Stick around after we talk. What's the last thing we're going to talk about today? Cross country. After we talk about cross country, it'll go swimming and diving, then cross country. So if you land on, and you can check, like they do I think the AI with the podcasts app, like sets. Did I showed you that? Didn't I? That it breaks down the chapters a little bit. So so you can go through and see the chapters. I think on Spotify. Spotify might do that, but check Apple. Anyway, we're gonna tack this on at the end of the episode. It'll be fun. So either stay tuned or jump ahead after we finish up men's basketball for that little segment. But we got to get to the meat and potatoes here, Pete, because the Billikens scored 99 points in an NBA quarter and 10-minute overtime. Secret scrimmage against Iowa, and they held Iowa to 74 points. I would be interested to know whether the overtime was included in this.
My understanding, it was not.
Okay. Interesting.
So 99-74 was the regulation, and then the overtime was separate. They kind of ran through scenarios. That was to get the guys who were like non-rotation players to get them some more runs, some more exposure. So that was kind of a, like they were playing with their starters and their bench rotations during the actual game, which, as you said, was NBA format. So it was 4 12-minute quarters and then 10 minutes to run through scenarios with the other guys. So I think originally we were told that it would be 40 minutes like college basketball and then 20 minutes, but they changed that to 48 and 10 to kind of to change it up a little bit. Per Stu, with Stu on SLU. By the way, Stu, sipping on our Kool-Aid. Get out of the podcast game, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, I'm kidding. They also sent video of their own scrimmages to each other so that they could scout. Very cute. It was very cutesy. It was almost like a buddy film, listening to how they were sending their stuff to each other. Right. I don't know. That's just how it appeared to me. I don't know. But yeah, they were just trying to basically simulate a regular season scout or prep experience as much as possible without giving away any secrets. Deion Brown did not play in this one. Yeah, I assume, Zach, that this has to be a precaution as he kind of works back to full health following the minor knee surgery. He did play in that scrimmage. He's been playing, but I think they didn't want to like throw him into game action quite yet with that knee. I'm not taking that to mean anything other than a precaution. I don't think he aggravated it or anything like that.
Talk to me about Iowa.
Iowa, Zach, is they're actually supposed to be pretty decent this year, even though they've got a new coach and everything. They were picked to finish 8th in the Big Ten.
Pete, hold on. We have breaking news here. Wait, hold on. I'm checking Twitter DMs right now. I need to tell everyone that we got a DM from CM183894945 on Twitter, and it's a report from is this Chris May? SLU is beating Iowa 57-45 in the third quarter. They are dominating. It didn't come from me though. I don't know. That's the DM. I don't know where
we're gonna.
I guess Chris May is out. He's finally reaching out to This is amazing. This is huge news.
It's great. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep that line of communication open for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep the DM with CM0183895. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, God, I tried. Talk about this report from Joel Hall. He always seems to have he might be the one person as opinionated as I am about Billiken athletics.
He does have strong opinions, but I think so his dad was there, and he said he was very impressed. The end score was very lopsided. First 3 quarters, it was rotation versus rotation. We are deeper than Iowa and beat them by 10 to 15 points through 3. Then our bench blew them out. Thames, Avila, Jones, and Dunlop were the top players. That all sounds pretty positive to me.
Could his dad not get him that +1? Like, Joel, buddy,
yeah.
Are you not the favorite son here? We gotta help repair that relationship. If he didn't get the +1, man, that's tough. We talked about that report on Billikens.com. It was again, I read everything in this post and I thought that this was a disaster.
Yeah, except it came with a big M. Night Shyamalan style twist at the end, Zach. So his post was SLU starting 5, Green, Jones, Thames, Otieno, Avila, played the entire first period. We are as tall as Iowa, but 15 to 20 pounds lighter at each position. Thames was our best player in the first period, score not displayed, but SLU had difficulty getting open looks and likely outscored. Point guard for Iowa, 1 of 6 transfers from Drake, senior named Schertz. Coach Schertz said before the
never heard of him.
That Schertz will be an NBA player, best player on the court. Second period, 5 different players: McCautry, Warlick, Sharma, Anya, Dunlop. Again, difficulty getting open looks and likely outscored. Iowa kept most of their starters in the game.
Pete, I'm very concerned that at some point this season, how many games into the season before I accidentally say shawarma?
You probably already have. But I'm going to say 3.
Okay. Over, under, comment down below. Over how many games? How many games before I say shawarma?
Third period, SLU was much more competitive, especially Jones. Better flow on offense, better defense as well. Continued into the fourth period. Kerr got his minutes, was effective on offense. Our 3-point shooting was much better in the second half. Iowa kept most of their starters out in the second half. SLU apparently won by 24 points.
Oh, by the way, apparently just it really ties everything together.
I was so
it is the rug in this situation.
Can't tell you how many times I read that. Like every single sentence until the last one, I was like, it was just like, wait, what am I missing? How did we win by 24? It's like a little negative, a little negative, a little negative, a little, like, very matter of fact, leaning negative. And then it's like, oh yeah, we won by 24 points.
We are as tall as Iowa, but 15 to 20 pounds lighter at each position. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
that sounds bad. Yeah. Thames was our best player in the first period. A player who by the way, we've been confident that he would play at full health.
Right.
But has, score not displayed, Slew had difficulty getting open looks and likely outscored. Okay, that's bad. That's bad news.
Doesn't sound great.
There's the Schertz, 5 different players in the second period. Again, difficulty getting open looks and likely outscored. Okay, that's not good.
Right.
We were much more competitive in the third. Okay, but that means we were really bad in the first.
Yes.
I don't like. I'm not. Again, this is you. Hey, you're writing from flow, man. But like, you had me. You had me in the depths of despair.
I just don't go
toying with my emotions.
After reading that, you go, well, where's the plus 24 come from, right? Or now, as we know, it was plus 25. Yeah. Like, how's that possible if you lose the first half?
Oh my god!
And are quote more competitive.
What? Hey, I don't want to. I'm not trying to clown on the guy. Like,
no,
he just had me. He had me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's all I got. He was the first to do it, and it's not his fault. But like, we had like, there nobody was refuting the bad part, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna be bad. I don't know. Talk about SU. He got a recap.
Score was pretty much even the first 2 quarters, and we actually played our bench in those quarters more than they did. Our outside shots fell in the third quarter, and we pulled away against their starters. It was a very promising showing. So this seems to line up with what Joel had said. We were up 10 to 15. So if it's close at the first half, we're up 10 to 15 after 3. And then win the thing by 25, in the fourth quarter when more of the reserves run away with it. That more or less lines up, I would say.
Let's talk about. Look, where do you stand at this point? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your hype level at?
Probably 8.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know anything about how you're viewing this scale or how seriously you're taking the numbers, or
there is not
assign a number to a subject.
There is one topic we get serious about on this podcast. It's not. We know what that is.
I'm very, very excited about this season. The only thing tempering my excitement is the schedule. Is just I just know that we're riding a razor's edge all year long, and that even if we get that tournament bid, be it at large or not, and the window the window for at large is so small, we're going to get screwed on seed, right? So this season is a very, very high climb, even with a roster that I really believe in. So that's really the only thing tempering my optimism. Otherwise, I'm very, very excited for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest question mark from the scrimmage is, what is Iowa actually bringing, right? Where does Iowa sit? Because you saw, was it Chapley who texted us? He saw that he saw a tweet from, Cyclone Nation. Iowa drops Ben McCollum's debut scrimmage by 20 plus points versus St. Louis, and Tavion Banks gets arrested in the same night. Hell of a beginning to his tenure. Yeah. Apparently, that's their 6th man.
Yeah, so he's one of the guys who was brought over from Drake, I believe.
Wow, culture issues already.
Right, I think he was I want to say a JUCO player or something like that. Played at Drake last season, and now he's listed as a senior. He's the guy. He's actually from Kansas City. So yeah, if memory serves, he was a really good JUCO player who wound up going to Drake. But yeah, so I don't know what the story is.
Yeah, I don't either. Banks yet. Yeah,
it's not really. I did a quick Google search and it's not really out there much yet. So social media is starting to whisper, but that's about all I know. Otherwise, I don't know what that means. Maybe things are going to be a little bit disappointing there in his first year, but I still think they're going to be pretty good.
I do want to talk about the stew on Slew piece that he did. Josh Schertz prepping for expanding his rotation. And, in the article, it talks about how Schertz went and talked with the NBA, kind of his NBA connections. And I think it's interesting. I'm curious what Billiken fans think about Schertz's reverence for the way or the way he looks at the program for inspiration and information. I think there's so many differences between the college and program. It's not something that I don't know if I would lean heavily on. I don't know what your thoughts are.
So, well, first I want to hear why do you think they're so different? Like in what way would this conversation in particular you think not be suited as much toward the college game?
Yeah, I think, we're talking rotation. We're talking, fatigue. We're talking continuity. We're talking situational. And I think you're playing, it's a different game in that you're playing 20-minute halves and not 12-minute quarters. You're not playing an 80-game season. It's, I think, on a per game basis, the college game is just more intense. And then again, I don't regularly watch the NBA, but my perception of lineup management in the NBA is very much starters together and bench together when possible. So, I mean, again, I don't know how much you can, I think keeping people happy is one way to look at it, but I'd be interested, just in the, I guess that, just the schedule density and then the length of the games.
So I think a couple things here. I think in the NBA, you're playing a 48-minute game instead of 40, and you're playing a much longer season. I think that's the other factor here is it's more than double the length of even the best college season, even the one that goes the deepest, right? I think around 40 games would be your absolute maximum if you make a national championship, and you're playing 82 just in the regular season of an NBA season. So that's one thing. So I think for that reason, also the fact that guys are making insane money in the NBA. And then you've got a lot of the sort of load management stuff bubbling up in recent seasons. They do have to go a little bit deeper on their bench. I don't know if I agree completely that it's kind of like starters play together and then reserves play together. That might be true at certain points in the game if it's like out of hand or something like that, or at certain points of the season, right, where you're trying to limit guys' minutes more. But
you're in the dog days.
Yeah, but Schertz, I mean, the fact that he plays kind of an NBA style, certainly an NBA inspired style. And, I like that he's going and talking to NBA coaches, right? Like if he's gonna play that style, he's got to think about other facets of how those players are going to interact together within that. And NBA coaches tend to play a few more guys in a game, right? Like not necessarily core rotation always, but they're playing 10, 11, 12 a night pretty commonly, sometimes more. So I think it's pretty interesting that he did talk to, it looks like, coaches from Oklahoma City and Indiana, but then it said he also talked to VCU's, former coach, Virginia's current head coach, Ryan Odom. Which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well. I mean, is he going to try to sabotage us? Like, I don't know if I trust him.
I think at this point, no. He's probably friendly. Hopefully, we don't see them like in the tournament or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it necessarily, and I think it's one of those things too. Like the more his name gets tied to like NBA thinking and NBA preparation and NBA, like recruits see that, players see that, they want to play for NBA minded coaches. It's what they're all thinking about.
Yeah. I also don't know. Like that's one of the concerns I do have is kind of that playing that pro style game in college. So I mean, again, it's just the way I view things. I I don't know. It's not something that I'm like critical of. It's just different than maybe I would. I don't know. I think it's an unknown, and I don't love unknowns.
Sure.
Let's talk about TJ. By the way, unknown. Speaking of unknowns, I don't. Unknown is what the roster and the compensation and the cap in the NBA. I don't understand it. It's halfway to MLS as far as just banana lands.
MLS is truly bizarre. And NBA is confusing too, though. You would think with smaller rosters, fewer players to think about, and so much money that it wouldn't be all that complicated. But man, it really is. It seems more complicated than baseball or football, which have bigger rosters, for example. But yeah, the good news, Zach, is Terrence Hargrove Jr. signed to an Exhibit 10 contract by the Denver Nuggets per Keith Smith. Which we saw earlier this week. And we'll let Joel Hall take it from here. He says he was released the following day. He will attend Denver's G League affiliate Grand Rapids Gold training camp starting October 27th. G League season tips off on November 7th. The standard contract for this upcoming season is $40,500 for the 5-month season. If and when Hargrove goes past 60 days on the roster, he will be eligible for a bonus of up to $83,500. And the other fun note here, Zach, Grand Rapids is coached by none other than Majerus favorite Andre Miller. Having just read, and actually last week just finished Majerus's book, My Life on a Napkin. Andre Miller is definitely one of those dudes who you always realize would make a pretty good coach. So that's cool. That's cool.
Old Uncle Andre.
He's an interesting player because when you look at his career in the NBA, he played a long career, like something like 12 years or something like that. And he has like the highest number of points, assists, and steals without ever having made an all-star team. Like he was always just a really good player, but never like a superstar in the league, which is interesting to me. I always thought very highly of him, and went back and looked, and he was so consistent. He never ever got hurt. Like the dude missed almost no games in his whole career, which is crazy. And then just performed very consistently, scored in the high teens. Just everything about him was super reliable. Never one of those players who had like off-court drama or anything. I really like Andre Miller. I think I could see him being a good coach.
Pete, I've got to show you this this picture I just came across on Twitter of Gavin Griffiths, who plays for the Temple Owls. He's a junior, 6'7", 200 pounds, out of Simsbury, Connecticut. You ready for this one?
Sure. Yeah, let's see it. Wow. Okay. All right. This is it looks like a guy who's going for some of Robbie's.
Oh, he is looking for that Robbie aura.
He's chasing that aura for sure.
Yeah. Somewhere between Robbie Avila and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh God. Yeah. And the reflection off of his glasses is making him look cross-eyed because the reflection.
Oh my God. It is.
It looks like the two lights there are making different parts of his eyes on each lens. Like it's looking like the white of his eye. And so it's making him look cross-eyed. But this is a guy who averaged about 2 and 2 a game last season. So yeah, he's chasing Robbie's clout for sure.
Anyway, that's what's going on with that. That's a poor radio segment for you all. Because we don't really have we have some bad news. We don't have some bad news.
It's not bad news.
Okay. I thought he officially ruled us out.
No.
Quentin Coleman didn't rule us.
Nope. He's down to 4, and we're on the list, at least at this point. But he announces his decision on Tuesday. This is Quentin Coleman, the guard out of Prince.
Oh, there was there were whispers.
Yes. Yeah. So he announces on Tuesday he's down to SLU along with Wake Forest, Iowa, Texas Tech. It sounds like Wake Forest might be in the driver's seat on this one, is the rumor. But that's all we know now.
Got it. We do have some new offers out. One Canadian and one Las Vegan.
Definitely lost vegan. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. We'll go with that.
Sweet.
Yeah, Lyris Robinson is he's actually the son of Jerome Robinson, who played at Bradley and coached all over the place. Now coaches for Nike, actually. But he's a 2027 shooting guard. He's 6'5", like you said, Canadian, but attends Bella Vista Prep in Arizona. Plays AAU for Arizona Unity, which is a Nike EYBL circuit team. Smart, dynamic, efficient, three-level scorer. He's explosive getting to the rim. Good shooter off the catch, consistent. Takes on the toughest assignment defensively, which is always something I like to read about a recruit as well. And he can guard a few positions. Other offers right now, he's got a lot of them. George Mason Creighton, Oregon, Mississippi State, Stanford, Cal, Oklahoma State, TCU, Arizona State, San Diego State, UNLV, New Mexico, and then we'll call it 10 to 12 more from smaller conferences. So already a very established recruit. I want to say he's like a top 75-ish kid in the class, but one to keep an eye on. I don't know what SLU saw as their lane here, but it's going to be interesting to follow. We offered another Bella Vista prep kid as well from the same class, Jalen White, 2027 small forward. He's about 6'7". But as you said, he's from North Las Vegas and plays for Vegas Elite AAU. Long, bouncy wing, finishes above the rim, really smooth, consistent stroke from three. He's got a really long stride, handles the ball well, stays low in his dribble, so he's really hard to stop going downhill. Good transition player and versatile defender. Not many offers at this point, but they're pretty solid. Oregon, Washington, UNLV, Pepperdine, Cal State, Bakersfield is all he has at this point. So SLU is now in the mix there as well.
Bella Vista Prep, of course, the locomotive, Jimmy Bell Jr.
He did. Yeah, he went from Saginaw out there.
We got to close the loop on Mason McGee. He's headed to San Francisco.
He is, and that was one of his 7 finalists, right? He announced a few weeks ago his finalists, and SLU was in the top 7 along with San Francisco. But then after he announced his finalists, he got like 3 or 4 more offers that he announced. And it was just kind of like whenever I see that, I immediately kind of write it off like, he's not coming here, right? Like we made his first list of finalists, and now there's some new schools. But the funny thing is, none of them wound up being a factor either. I guess he's just going to go to San Francisco. So either way, not coming to SLU. I think he's from San Francisco anyway, so he's even staying local.
Did you say local?
I did, Zach. And you are the king of segues.
Thank you. With that being said, tell us about something local.
Yeah, I think our favorite local brand, and I say local even though I'm here in Cincinnati. I'm still a St. Louisan at heart. Come on. 2 Men in a Garden is the best local pickle and salsa company there is. I'm not going to say just both, but really either. They are masters of what they do. I want you to head over to twomeninthegarden.com. Put in an order now, or if you are local, you can head out to Schnucks, Dearborg, Straub's, any of the local markets. Pick up some of their stuff. Let us know what you think. Let them know what you think, and let them know we sent you when you make an order online. Especially, put our name in the notes. Every time they see us pop up, they know the sponsorship is worth it, and we'll keep this thing going. It helps us stay going as well. So twomeninthegarden.com for all of your pickle, salsa, and other needs. Don't sleep on their Kitchen Hub STL products. They're very good, and they are expanding what they're doing there. twomeninthegarden.com.
Pete, let's head over to the men's soccer field. You and I got together in DC to check out the Billikens against GW.
It's what we do, Zach. It's what we do when we look at the schedule and we see a game that's not streaming.
Yeah, we fly private jet.
I call you up. I say gas up the PJ.
Yeah.
Make a stop at Lunken Airport in Cincinnati, and then we'll hop over to DC for the second leg of the flight.
The Lunken Trail, one of my favorites.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. Nice flat floodplain down there, and private jets coming in and out all day.
I know, and we had to spend all that money on the PJ because George Washington, of course, did not stream. GW is like they spend all this money on the basketball program, right? Out of the endowment, they don't have lights on their soccer field, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. Like, so my high school soccer field, they could never. It was always a battle. They could never put lights up. They could never play night games there, because right over the tree line, there's all these really nice mansions. They're kind of sandwiched in the corner of Creve Coeur between like Frontenac and Ladue, and the wealthier part of Creve Coeur. So you get the neighbors were like, no, you're not putting up lights right there. And they've always been successful in fighting that off. But that's a long way of saying I assumed it was the same case at George Washington until I actually I've seen games there, and it's like, well, that's your own campus.
It's the Mount Vernon
right
campus.
Next to it. Yeah, right. It's not their main campus, their academic campus. It's like 15 minutes away, and it's
that's interesting.
Yeah, right. It's a little more residential up that way, but not in the immediate.
Yeah.
Like they've got busy streets on one side, and then it's their buildings on the other side. So I'm like, I don't know why they haven't put up lights. Right? It's weird to me.
I will say that I do like the way George Washington has that far side from the camera set up. Excuse me. With they've got Adirondack chairs out there, the most comfy chairs on planet Earth.
It looks like little Pleasant Hillside.
Oh my God,
buildings up there.
If SLU could figure out a way to maybe put up some sort of, I don't know, somehow get a hill there on that West Pine end, somehow build that up. Maybe I don't know, somehow, because that corner is sweet. Like that corner is a good place to sit, and kids and parents, and they all like to sit there on homecoming. And if SLU could do something with that, and make it a lawn area or something, it would be fantastic. But no stream for this one, Pete. Why don't you run down all the important notes from the game, and then I'll get into the report on this game sent in by a friend of the show.
Yeah, so it took a while to get anything going in this one, and then late in the half, SLU finally broke through, right? So SLU's first shot didn't come until the 24th minute, and then 8 of the 9 first half shots were in the last 15 minutes of the half. It was one where if you're tracking the stream, you're kind of like, uh-oh, what's going on here? It was a while before you really saw any stats kind of racked up. 43rd minute, though, Abdul Karim Pari from Covey Bod.
That's a name we haven't heard a lot of.
No, he's a freshman, right?
Yeah.
And he assisted on the second goal 2 minutes later to Drake Fournier as well. And that was it for the scoring in this entire game. SLU did end up out shooting GW 14-4, 8-1 in shots on goal, 8-4 in corners. And then fouls were pretty even, 12-9. GW had a few more. Kai Yeager and Theo Franca ended up with yellow cards. GW is, as you say, always kind of a hard place to play. You play during the day. There's really not much of an atmosphere or crowd. You do see people, going about their business, though, right? It's not really in the stadium. You just see them past the fence.
It's a lot like
coming in and out of dorms and stuff.
It's a lot like SIUE across the way. They have that hill. That's the pro tip. You can sit on that on that hillside. Like I said, from an attendee at the game, the Billikens and the game in general got out to a slow start. GW obviously sitting in early, and the Billiken attack got really bogged down along with the game due to that. A couple freshmen got in the game. I believe it was Di Maria and another freshman got in the game, and they really started to really work on getting the tempo higher and play more vertical to get in behind the GW back line. And that was a credit to the freshmen. 6 freshmen, I believe, played in this one. 5 of them were on when the goals were scored. So if you're a hockey fan, they get a plus. That added pace was able to create a little confusion with GW's back line. It sounds like GW didn't get out of their half for the last 20 minutes of the first half. The second half, SLU managed the game a little bit better. They should have had probably 5 goals in this one. But the game, they managed that 2-0 win nicely. Didn't really have any chances. Drake and Quentin apparently were very, very good in this one. And they controlled the game from that center back position. Good performance overall, good win. I mean, it's a road win. Again, like you said, a GW place doesn't have lights, plays during the day. You know, it's a Thursday. How many people are there? I don't know. It's hard to get up for. And, you know, you see that with that early start and that slow start. And to come back from that and, you know, find a way to beat GW is good and do it convincingly. So take it every day. Yeah. Let's talk about another big game for the Billikens. Pete, this one, I'm going to read a quote of a tweet that was added. It's always, he always adds us and I love it. It was George Templeton, VCU Rams Rewind. He always hops in a mention. This guy seems to be a bigger sicko than both of us. Oh, this guy's watching SLU women's soccer, and he's a VCU guy.
All A10, all teams.
This guy is sports. He's fan. Yeah. You know what, George Templeton, we want to get you on the pod. This guy hit us up. And apparently he listens to us too. On top of it, I don't know where the guy finds the time. But yeah, he said. If the Billiken men's soccer team has played a better first half than this, then I would like to see it. So that is what you're working with from an opposing fan's perspective as they took down VCU in a 2-0 win on Saturday the 11th.
Yeah, the 26-minute Drake Fournier again, second goal in as many games. This one was off a Gershon Henry assist. It came off a free kick. And then just 3 minutes later, I don't know what it is. They cluster their goals together anymore. It was Paris again. No assist. This one came off a turnover. He just basically took the ball, dribbled up into scoring position, and let it rip. There was nothing fancy about it, nothing complicated. Just a bad turnover by VCU.
He's been so good this season. I love watching him play.
Yeah, and I think these were his first 2 goals, if I'm not mistaken. So it's taken him a while to break through, but clearly that ability has always been there.
Yeah. SLU again dominated this game, 13-5 in shots, 6-0 on goal. Corners were 7-2. Billikens. The fouls were VCU 12, SLU 9. VCU got both of the game's yellow cards, both in the second half. Abinell's 3rd straight shutout and 8th of the season. If he does not get goalkeeper of the year in this league, I will be shocked. Yeah, he's been outstanding.
He really has. He really has. You can just tell like he's at another level than every other goalie out there. The guy's got some serious ability. Next up, Zach, they return home to host Fordham on. Actually, no, I'm skipping over.
No, just we'll do the next real quick, and then we can jump back. We can Tarantino it.
So they host Fordham on Saturday the 18th. Fordham is 7-2-3. They're 4-0-2 in the A10 now. Yeah. Their only losses all season came to Colgate and Marist. They normally play pretty close, low-scoring games, but had a 5-1 breakout win against VCU earlier this month. They're coming off back-to-back 1-0 shutouts of both Dayton and Duquesne. So Fordham is good, like really good. Yeah. Last year, Fordham
they tend to.
Yeah. Yeah, they when you look at like their scores and everything, they kind of seem a lot like SLU. Last year they were a tournament team. They tied SLU 2-2 in the regular season. I think scoreless draw is probably, if I were a gambler, the bet here. But it's 2 good teams who don't score a lot, and it's just going to be really hard to see much scoring happening here.
Yeah, last season, the Billikens and the Rams skated to a 2-2 tie in St. Louis. The year before that, the Billikens beat the Rams here at home 2-1. And then it was, I'm trying to remember, it 2022. There was a year they knocked us out of the A10.
Yeah, I was going to say we lost at their place to have our season ended, basically.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So anyway, gotta beat Fordham. Fordham is they always put a really good team on the field. This week, I mean, it was a big time positive week. Opening up not opening up, but an A10 continuing to really. They're at the top of the table right now. They're top of the league. So very positive week. Go on the road, shut out both teams, score multiple goals in each game. I think we're gonna. I think this SLU team is very, very good at their best. If they can find the consistency, this team. I mean, this is a team that can go deep in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it was. I know before the A10 season started, kind of taking a look at all the teams. I kind of tabbed like the top 5 or so as being like kind of anybody's league, and it's really shaking out that way. It looks like Fordham, SLU, Davidson, George Mason, and Dayton are those teams, and that has pretty much held. Like Dayton was the team they were ranked 12th in the preseason. They were slated to win it all in our league, and they've been disappointing, I should say. 2-1-2 in the league, 3-2-6 overall. They keep tying everybody. But Fordham
sounds like Dayton.
Fordham and SLU are still the undefeated teams. Davidson, Mason are 1-loss teams. Those are the top 5 in the league. I think they're going to stay the top 5. I think one of them is going to win the conference tournament. But it really is still kind of anybody's game, I think, in that grouping. So anytime one of those or two of those teams, I guess I should say, go head to head, it's going to be a good one.
Have we gone down the standings? Maybe we should visit the standings.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, we're not top of the table. I thought we were. The VCU announcer lied to me.
Well, the issue here is Fordham has 2 ties and we only have 1. They've played 1 more game, so they technically do have another point. But we'll see what happens this week. Davidson is 3-1-2, right behind SLU. George Mason 3-1-1. Dayton is 2-1-2. St. Joe's is 2-2-2. Rhode Island 2-2-1. Loyola 1-1-3. VCU 1-2-2. Bonaventure's 1-3-1. LaSalle is winless at 0-2-3. Duquesne 1-4, and George Washington bringing up the rear at 0-5.
Yeah, big game this week, Saturday the 18th. Get out to Herman Stadium, and hopefully the Billikens will treat you to a win.
It's a battle for first between the last 2 undefeateds.
Yes. Let's talk some women's soccer. A semi-surprising result here. I thought, I'm surprised we did give up a goal in this one, but a 2-1 win against Duquesne Sunday the 12th. 27th minute, Lucy Schwartz headed in a perfect corner kick service from Eva Schreiber. It was about as clean of a corner kick header as you're going to ever see. It's like no one was even on the field. It was almost as good as that short corner that led to the goal in the VCU game.
Yeah,
it was just as pretty. It was about a minute after SLU had just hit the post, so that was quickly cleaned up. 36th minute, Caroline Chire dribbled deep to the left inside the box, sent it across to Nina Preuser, who slid to put it home. Just a really clinical kind of attack. Chire held it. I thought Chire was going to lose the ball here.
She held it and held it and held it. And I'm like, you have 2 players over there. Give it up, get it up. But while she did that, she drew everybody over to her, right? Because she got deeper and deeper and deeper. And they were finally like, let's just cut her off. She got it through.
It's one of those plays that you see 9 out of 10 times. The player has waited to, like, if you wait that long, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to get interrupted in some way, shape, or form. Or
that's right.
This one is beautiful. How is this Nina Preusser's first goal of the year of her career?
That surprised me. She's one of those players that, like, when she was younger and we would just see her a few minutes at a time, I was kind of like, ooh, she's dangerous. Like, she would like let a shot rip from 25 yards out and put it over the crossbar.
Nobody clip. Oh, ooh, she's dangerous. Nobody clip that. Nobody clip that, please.
Stop. But seeing her play, I was kind of like, okay, that's like a young player who's really going to be a big factor. And she's just had a little bit quieter career, than you would think. Yeah. So I will say in the last couple of games, it seems like she's sort of coming into her own a little bit. And this one, there was nothing crazy about this goal. It was just right at the goal mouth, and she just kind of had to lunge a little bit to get it in there. But yeah, anyway, I hope this kind of opens things up for her a little bit more.
Yeah, a bit unlucky, a bit unlucky in the 53rd minute when Duquesne got one back. Blakely Hockett went to play a header to clear the ball from Slew's end, lost it in the sun. Camille Welker tried to track back after it, didn't appear to be, just didn't make it. Not sure. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of misreading on one play leading to Duquesne getting a chance on net. Duquesne's forward beat Camille Welker to the ball, and she slotted one home, lower left corner of the goal on Emma Parker. Duquesne had some very good chances to tie in the second half, including a dangerous cross with just over 2 minutes left. Again, this was a very surprising stat line for this game. But on the same token, Duquesne was extra aggressive, and Slew had a lot of chances because of it.
They did. They had a few in the second half. There was one, I'm trying to think of who had it. It was a header right in front of the net, and it kind of caught it a little bit far back, and it just kind of popped up and over the net. But I thought Slew was going to get one on the counter. They were just never able to get that third goal, either before or after Duquesne had scored. To their credit, Duquesne's game plan here, they lost to Slew 5-0 last year, right? You said earlier this year, like, Duquesne's got a really good schedule. They were picked to finish, or Duquesne's got a really bad schedule, I bet, right? Because they had that big record. Like, coming into this game, they're 9-3-1. And I was kind of like, hey, they're pretty good. And you're like, they played nobody, I guarantee it. And it's kind of a little bit weaker schedule. But they're clearly improved. They're outperforming expectations. They were picked to finish 10th in the league. So I thought this was a really good showing from, a team that it was just clear from the jump, not the same Duquesne team that Slew beat last year. Really aggressive, created a lot of chances, tested Ella Parker. And Zach, the stats bear that out. They outshot Slew 12-7, 6-2 in shots on goal. Slew made them count, that's for sure. Corners were 5-3, and they outfouled Slew 12-6. It was just from the jump, they were way more aggressive than we expected.
Yeah, I think, like I said last week, I talked a little bit about how this Billiken team is these A10 schools have been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Or maybe I said it, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I said it in the last couple of weeks. But the A10 is waiting for this. They're waiting for Slew to stumble. They're waiting for a Katie Shields team to show signs of weakness. Yep. So they're bringing their A game, not as if they weren't bringing it the last 7 years, but like right now, this is a vulnerable Billiken women's soccer team. I think they've still got a ton of talent. I still think they are far and away the most skilled, most athletic team in this league. They just have yet to really put it together.
What you're not seeing this year is teams. You could see a change in their body language in previous seasons where you're playing an opponent and you can just see their shoulders slump. You can just see them getting to the ball more slowly. You can just see them all mentally getting on the bus. It's just you don't really see that this year. And even when, like, I felt really good after Slew went up 2-0 But Duquesne never let up at all.
Yeah.
And in the second half, I would say they came out even harder, despite that 2-0 deficit. And that's just not something we saw before. I think you're just going to get everybody's best shot.
It reminds me of when Ann Cortis's teams were just kicking the living shit out of teams. And LaSalle would come in with like no full-time assistant coaches, and we'd be out of there in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I would love to go back while you're preview Dayton for us. While you're previewing, I'll find one of the more gaudy scores because this is a huge game. Just by some random quirk of the A10 schedule, we've got two major contests on the men's side and on the women's side. The two undefeated teams facing each other in the same week.
Yeah, same week. So SLU's RPI is 44, and this is a really big week for them because first off, you get Dayton on Thursday the 16th at home, Herman Stadium, and then Sunday the 19th they had two Rhode Island. So, like you said, Dayton's the big first place showdown. They're 9-3-2 overall. They're 6-0-0 in the A10. With the first five of those, I want to say being shutouts. Was it all six of those being shutouts? I can't remember what the last score was. But anyway, their RPI is 39 before Sunday's result. They lost to Pitt, West Virginia, and Louisville, and they tied Purdue and a ranked Michigan State team. So all their losses and ties have come to power conference teams. Their non-conference wins were against Wright State, Western Kentucky, and Akron. They just beat St. Joe's 4-1. So their first five wins in the league were shutouts. Their 6-1 was a blowout despite not being a shutout. Last year, SLU tied the Flyers in Dayton in the final game of the regular season. And that was big for Dayton, Zach, because I know we had beaten them so many years in a row, and they haven't beat SLU in a long time. So you absolutely know they're going to give SLU everything they've got.
This is the culmination of like 7 years.
It really is. Rhode Island, they're also pretty good. 10-3-1 overall, 4-1-1 in the league. Their RPI is 97. So not quite the schedule that Dayton has played, but they're still solid. They're coming off a 2-0 win over Davidson. They lost to Brown, who's really good in women's soccer, UConn, and LaSalle. They tied Richmond 2 games ago. So SLU really could use both of these for at-large purposes. I think beating a number 39 team, beating a top 100 team, you're going to see their RPI go up if they take care of business this week. But yeah, Zach, that Dayton game's huge.
It's just October 3rd, 2008, as promised, 7 p.m., St. Louis, Missouri, Chaffetz Pavilion, attendance 247. The Billikens 12-4, 3-0 in the A10, played LaSalle 4-14, 1-3 in the A10. 25-8, 25-9, 25-12.
Yeah, that's a quick game.
And I say that now, and it's not that bad, but the first Dayton loss for volleyball this week the first Dayton loss this week was
pretty close.
Yeah, that was bad. Let's talk about volleyball since we're right there. Yeah. A heartbreaker, I would even call it, loss against Loyola Tuesday the 7th. 22-25, 25-15, 25-21, 21-25, and then 9-15. Not the bounce back you hoped for after a tough weekend against VCU. This certainly isn't the Loyola, the powerhouse that we've seen since they've joined the conference. A couple things I was impressed by in this one. They bounced back from a really brutal start in the first set that had me expecting 3-0. Not only did they bounce back within that first game, but even when they fell short, they carried that momentum into 2 straight wins. So I really liked that. I was disappointed in the way SLU let that 5th set get away from them. That's the second time within a short period SLU really got run away from in the early points of that 5th set. Did I break down the scores or no?
You did. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I remember talking about that LaSalle volleyball game, and I was like, oh, did I do that? And then just glazed over it. Grandy glazed over it. One positive is that Jetta Bredding had the first triple-double for SLU since 2012 and first for a freshman since 2006. 43 assists, 13 digs, 12 kills. Tamia Maddox had a double-double with 12 kills and 10 digs. The Billiken's 11 service aces were a season high. Pete, I will give you both of these Dayton games.
Thank you so much, Zach. The first one, 3-0, was the loss at Dayton on Friday the 10th. Not quite as bad as what we did to LaSalle all those years ago, but it was 10-25, 18-25, 15-25. Maddox had 7 kills and 9 digs. Tia Kolajic, 6 kills, and Anna Alexander had a career high, 5 kills. Chloe Mon, Zach, at one point had what you called an insane point.
Oh, dude, this was fantastic. She made 2 really, really nice plays. One to save the point, and then one to, I don't remember. It was on different volleys. So like it was, unfortunately the Billikens lost it. Yeah, I thought she played really well. She made some really nice plays.
Yeah, otherwise, SLU was just overwhelmed from the jump, and that carried over to Saturday, the 11th, another 3-0 loss, 17-25, 22-25, 16-25, technically a little better than the previous day, but there's just not really a whole lot to say here. Dayton's a lot better team. Yeah. And Zach, the less said, I think, of the better, and move on.
Yeah, I think we'll just like in this, it's just Dayton was putting the ball on the floor. I mean, there's points you win where your opponent touches it and it goes down. There were so many points where Dayton was just finding that spot that was open, and the ball was it was clean ball on hardwood. Jesus. God damn it. The front loaded gauntlet of a schedule is over. And the Billikens finish that first half 0-7. Now they need to go and beat the bottom half of the league and get a nice seed for the conference, get in the conference tournament, and hopefully make a run at it. The Billikens will host Rhode Island on Friday and Saturday. Rhodey is terrible as well. Well, not as well. Rhodey's terrible. 3-16 overall, 0-7 in conference. SLU needs to win this game going away.
Yeah, they really do. And this needs to be where they start racking up the W side of the ledger, because like you said, it was a gauntlet to start. You wish you could have those George Mason ones back, but otherwise I don't think SLU would have been expected to win anything out of those first 7 matches.
No. Field hockey, Pete. A 7-0 loss at Iowa on Sunday the 12th.
Yeah. Not really surprising here. The Hawkeyes are ranked number 10 in the country. They outshot SLU 28-3, 16-2 in shots on goal. They had 10 corners to just 1 for the Bills. It was similar stats against St. Joe's a few weeks ago. And, we said going into this game, if they could keep the score somewhat respectable, that was a 3-0 loss. You hope for something like that. That was probably the best case scenario. But here, 7-0 is probably more in line with expectations for being outshot by that much by a team this good. I don't think anybody scored in the fourth quarter, but they probably had their bench in by then. I really don't have anything else to add here. This was predictable results. And
it was on Big Ten Plus.
It was on Big Ten Plus. There's going to be a lot more winnable games coming up, though.
Yeah. Pete, swimming and diving. Or did we talk about? No, we didn't. Friday the 17th, LaSalle, senior day. At the Blue, LaSalle's 5-8, 1-2 in A10 play. They're coming off a 3-0 win over Lock Haven, and that was a 4-0 win over Mercyhurst. I want to see where the standings are at because Pete, I believe that the Billikens have a chance to finish third in the conference.
A chance.
I believe
they have a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
That's right.
So they have coming up, field hockey plays LaSalle, Lock Haven, and Davidson to finish out the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They are sitting at 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
If SLU can beat LaSalle and Lock Haven, they'll sit at 3-2. Wow. What is happening? How is VCU 3-0? Good Lord. They must have played the front load, the back end on that front. Anyway, look, I think there's an outside chance that they finish third in the conference. If they beat Davidson, they're going to finish fourth in the conference. Or if they can beat Lock Haven and LaSalle, I think they can finish fourth. Because Davidson still has to play St. Joe's. That's their last conference game.
Yeah, fourth is more likely. Richmond has won 3 in a row since SLU beat them. Yes,
and that's our NCAA resume right there.
There you go. And then St. Joe's probably isn't going to lose again. I think VCU beat them, but I don't think anybody else has a chance. So yeah, I know that was a big upset. So anyway, I think VCU and St. Joe's are going to end up 1-2. Richmond, mathematically, they'll be hard to knock from number 3, but fourth place is very, very reasonable,
which would be insane.
Yeah,
I mean that's you're right in the middle. That's where that not where we said SLU should be every year.
Yeah, that's where you want them competing.
I mean, I think that is competitive enough. That I just think that's where you got to be.
Yeah.
Swimming and diving, Pete. Why don't you run us down the results here? Big week.
So they went down to Little Rock, Arkansas on the 10th and 11th and won both the men's and women's competition. The men finished with 750 points, Henderson State 738 and Delta State 668. Bray Sanchez won the 50-meter breast 24.90 and the 100 at 55.04. Also the 200 at 206.32. Zach Byers won the 100-meter backstroke at 50.45 and the 200-meter backstroke at 152.84, and then finished fourth in the 50-meter backstroke. Drayton Bieber won the 50 fly at 22.41. He placed second in the 100-meter breaststroke and finished fourth in Saturday's 50-meter freestyle. Eduardo Sanchez also won and had 2 additional top 5 showings. The 50-meter backstroke was the one he won at 23.45. Ethan Hudak had 3 top 5 finishes in the 100-meter back, 100 free, and 50 back. And then the 400 medley relay team of Bray Sanchez, Eduardo Sanchez, Bieber, and Logan Townsend won the event in 3:30.62. The women finished with 784 points to 710 for Little Rock, 517 for Delta State, and 438 for Henderson State. St. Louis won 5 individual events and 1 relay in the women's meet, led by Olivia Fox, who beat the field in the 1-meter and 3-meter diving competition. Also winning were Sasha Jancikova in the 1,000-meter free at 10:44.26. Megan Eng in the 200-meter backstroke at 2:04.51. And Tierney Cole in the 200-meter breaststroke at 2:21.57. The 400 medley relay team of Cole Eng, Marissa Williams, and Sarah Dingus won at 4:02.82. Next up, Zach, October 24th and 5th, they will head up to McKendree, so they've got 2 weeks off.
I hadn't heard a single diving result in forever. Next up for cross country will be pre-national invitational in Columbia on October 18th. They are always in Columbia.
It's like the only place they've won this season. It's crazy.
They're in Columbia more than like Mizzou football season ticket holders.
I think you're probably right.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.